Hello, and thank you for watching this video. In this video, I want to walk through some of the different tools that I've found to be helpful and effective in LiveLesson using just pods and layouts that are available within Adobe Connect. I've found that it's extremely helpful to have different layouts generated for your different activities. That way you can easily jump between all the different activities that you want to do in a live lesson. You'll notice on the right-hand side of the live lesson room that there are all these different squares, each with a different name. These are the different layouts. And when you have them created during the lesson, if you click on them, it'll automatically jump you from one activity to the next. So it's like having all the activities put together ready to go and just being able to pass them out quickly or jump from one activity to the next in a simple transition. So in this video, I want to walk through just four layouts that I've created and used in the classroom using the pods that are available within Adobe Connect. And the first one is a round robin. And a round robin is a series of chat boxes that each have a question in them that students will answer. And what you do is you assign different students to start in each chat pod, and they will stick in that chat pod for a predetermined amount of time. I usually use 1 minute. So what I do is I create however many chat pods I need based off of the questions that I have, and they're centered around, they circle around the center directions and the center timer. So what I do is I start out by saying, okay, so students who have last name A through C are going to be in this chat pod. Students who are D through F will be here. G through I, J through M, N through R, and S through Z. So I tell every student where to start. And I'll say, okay, if your first name starts with one of those letters, go to that chat pod. You're going to have 1 minute to do whatever it asks. So then I start the timer, and students in, say, chat pod 1, name as many mammals as you can, will at one at a time go through and say, oh, I don't know, human, dog, cat, elephant. All right, and after a minute, I'll say, okay, now switch. Now the students A through C will go to the next chat pod, and they'll name as many reptiles as they can. Frog. Etc. And then they'll jump to the next pod, next. So after 6 minutes, every student will have gone to each of the chat pods, and then we'll discuss it. We'll go through and see what the students said afterwards. So this is a really fast way to get student responses to a lot of questions and have a way for every student to see them and to be able to have some discussion. The next layout I want to go to is a small group activity. So sometimes you want to go to a breakout room to complete group activities, but sometimes you don't want to go to that extreme. You want to just give students the opportunity to do some quick group work together where they will chat with each other and produce a product. This layout allows them to do so. So with this layout, each group is given a chat pod and a notes pod. And in the notes pod are the questions that they'll answer or the product that they need to put together. And everybody's together, so it allows for us to see each other's results without having to jump from breakout room to breakout room. And it allows you to still record the session because once you go into breakout rooms, recording stops. So in this activity, I'll break students up into 3 groups, give them each a different, in this case, war to study. And they'll look at reference materials, they'll look at their textbook, they'll use the internet, they'll use previous knowledge. And working together, what they'll do is they will talk to each other in their chat pod, and then one person will end up having the rights to write in the notes pod. So to set this up, you'll need to make sure one person in each group is assigned as the writer, and they will be given the special rights to write in the note pod. Everyone else will just have the rights to write in the chat pod, and you just have to watch and make sure that students are active in their chat pod and not jumping from chat pod to chat pod. And then after a predetermined amount of time, you can share what the group said, and you can have somebody who in each group who's assigned to be the presenter, and they will verbally share what their group came up with. As a variation on this, another activity that I've done is kind of a drawing or creating activity. So again, the students are broken up into 3 groups in this case, and they'll be working together, and then one person will end up being the writer, and they'll draw or design or whatever on the whiteboard that the group needs to create, and then someone will present it to the whole class at the end. The final layout that I found useful is multiple notes pods. So in this case, each student will be assigned a different notes pod where they'll create their work. Now I do have a big group chat pod here so that students can communicate with me and with each other. I also have the directions for what they're going to be doing. In this case, they're going to write a haiku about favorite thing to do in the winter. So I'll give them a certain amount of time, and in their specific note pod, they will create their haiku, and then we'll share them out as a class without, again, having to jump from, say, share pod or a breakout room to breakout room. This is more effective than using a short answer poll pod because the students can actually write multiple lines on this, make edits to it much more easily. So this is another effective tool to use for student engagement in LiveLesson. So again, just looking at 4 different layouts and 4 different tools that you can use using the pods that are available in LiveLesson. Hopefully this has been helpful and you've found something that you'll be able to use within your own live lessons. Have a great day.